Oh my goodness. Hello, beautiful people. It's Adrian. I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, we're back yet again. Again, you're welcome back to the channel where I talk about my unfolded thoughts and opinions that nobody asked for. If that sounds like something that you're into, like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. Again, I hope you're doing great. I'm doing amazing. Wait, why am I talking like that? I don't know. I don't know what just got into me. I don't know. Maybe I just got possessed. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, I hope you're doing great. I'm doing amazing, as you can tell. And yeah, as you've seen from the title, today we're gonna be doing check-ins. I'm gonna be here trying the best that I possibly can to hold you accountable, because I always hold myself accountable. I was gonna say this episode is about me holding you and me, basically us, accountable, but then I remembered that I always hold myself accountable every single time. And so here we are. This is gonna be for you and you only. Now, remember at the beginning of this year, I did an episode about New Year's resolutions, and we were talking about setting intentions for the new year and basically having goals and writing all these things down that you want to achieve, goals you want to do, you want to achieve, and things you want to accomplish for this year. And I talked about the fact that they don't have to be a lot of goals. You don't have to set these extreme kind of goals, but you just have to like set the intention for the year and goals that you want to achieve and all that kind of stuff, because it's only appropriate for you to do that. You don't want to waste another year doing nothing. We just don't do that here. So we did that, and now it's been what? It's almost September. August is done. It's over. September is here, and I'm just here to hold you accountable and ask you, do you have anything to show up for September so far? Is there anything that you've done? The goals that you set for yourself, the intentions that you set for yourself, have you been doing that? Did you follow through with that? Because let's first bring that to me. I'm gonna speak about myself first. The goals that I set for myself in the beginning of this year and the intention that I set for myself have all been great. I've been doing the things that I said that I was gonna do, and I'm really, really proud of myself for that. I'm extremely proud of myself for that. Also, it's not really a surprise because I always do things that I said that I'm gonna do. It's one thing to not set many goals for the year and you not wanting to, and you not having these too many New Year's resolutions and goals that you want to accomplish. It's okay if you're that kind of person. And I also think that it's good. It's good for you to be simple and not have too many goals that you want to accomplish. You can just like set the intentions and just like have 3 or 4 to 5 goals that you want to achieve, and basically let that be that. And you don't have to like have 20 things that you want to achieve. Like I'm a simple guy. I don't like to overdo things. And with the things that I set, the intentions that I set and goals that I wanted to achieve, I've achieved them, and I continue to achieve them. I continue to do the things that I said that I was going to do. And again, I'm not surprised that I did that, because I'm a man of my word. I always do things that I say that I'm gonna do. But this is about you. Have you been doing the things that you said you were gonna do? Have you been doing that? No? Have you? September is here. Do you have anything to show up for it? Yes? No? Do you have anything to show up for September so far? I know you might be sitting there thinking that it's not that deep, it's not that serious. Actually, it is that deep, it is that serious, because when you set these expectations and intentions and set these goals that you want to achieve every single year, it doesn't have to be a big goal. It doesn't have to be like, I want to make $1 million, or I want to be a pop star in like a few months. Like it doesn't have to be like a big thing. Like I want to be this and do all this crazy things. They don't have to be these really like big goals, but when you set these intentions and goals and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for this year. It's January, I'm gonna set the intention for the year. I have all these New Year's resolutions and all these things that I wanna do more of or be good at. Maybe I wanna work out more, run more, or I want to read more, or maybe I want to work on my mindset and my limiting beliefs and all that kind of stuff, or work on my relationships, platonic or not, it doesn't matter. Just any goal. Save more money. It could be anything, any goal that you might have, and you set all these intentions, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then January goes by, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and then September, and all these months keep passing you by without you doing anything. Again, you might think it's funny, you might think it's a joke, but it's not. It's not a joke, because now you're just constantly disrespecting yourself. You know what I mean? And you will just reach to this point where you just like, you will not trust yourself, because you know that you cannot be trusted. You know that anytime you say that, every single time you say that you're gonna do something, you don't do it. You don't follow through. You said that you're gonna run more, or you're gonna like save more money, or do this or do that, or like work on your relationships, and then you don't do that over and over and over again. You just reach this point where you just like do not trust yourself. And if you're someone who has a really poor relationship with themselves like that, that is not good. Again, you might think it's funny, you might think it's a joke, but it's not. It's not funny, it's not a joke. You need to get it together. Again, I'm not trying to be like harsh and be like play therapist, like you need to do this. Honestly, you can take whatever you want. You can listen to it if you want to listen to this or not, but I'm just like being honest with you. If you say that you're gonna do these things and then you don't follow through, you don't do that, that is not good. You're constantly disrespecting yourself, and then you wonder why other people don't respect you. They don't respect you because you do not respect yourself. You don't even respect you. When you say you're going to do certain things, you don't do them. I'm going to run more. You don't do it. You don't even have to do it for like a really, really long time. You just have to like try your best to be a little more consistent with it. You don't have to like save a freaking $1,000,000. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do all these like crazy things. You just have to be like, okay, maybe for this year, I just want to be like a more positive person. Maybe I want to save X amount of money. Maybe I want to go out more. Maybe I want to do these things. And then you don't do that. You don't follow through with that. You don't do those things. You're just gonna like constantly lose this respect for yourself, and you're just gonna reach this point where you don't trust yourself. And that is not good. That is not good at all. You know what I mean? With me, I'm able to like trust myself, because I know for a fact when I say I'm gonna do certain things, I'm gonna do that. I remember one of the intentions that I set for this new year at the beginning was that I wanted to be more positive. I already am a positive person, but sometimes I can be quite like pessimistic and like cynical and all that kind of stuff, and like prepare for the worst. But with this year, I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to like prepare for the best and just like have the best mindset ever and be more positive and just like be a more light person and just like be more positive and hope and like prepare for the best instead of the worst. And you know what? I've been doing that. I've been doing it. I've just like been more of a like light person. I've been having a more positive and optimistic outlook on life, like generally speaking. Instead of being like, I'm gonna prepare for the worst, what if things go wrong, what if this doesn't work out, what if this goes wrong, and all that kind of stuff. I've been more of like a positive person, thinking positively and being like, oh, what if things go right, what if things work out, you know what I mean? Instead of always being like always being cynical and always panicking, like, okay, it's gonna go bad again, things are gonna go bad. No, but how about we change that and turn it into, or it's gonna go good this time. It's gonna go good. From now on, things are just gonna be going good. Things are gonna be working out and so forth. And that's something that I really did my best to work on, and it worked. I've been having a much more positive outlook on life, and it's been great. It's been amazing. Couldn't be more grateful. Life's been good. It's been great, and that's something that I really wanted to work on. That was one of my intentions that I set for this new year. It was one of my New Year's resolutions, and alongside other things, and I did that plus all the other things, and I just continue to do them. And I guess this question is for you. Have you been doing that? Have you been like following through with the things that you said you were gonna do? If not, then that's a problem because you had 8 months to do that. You had 8 months to do all of that, and you didn't do anything. Maybe you did that at the beginning of like the year, in like January, February, March, then like gave up. You need to get back to it. The year is not over yet. You still have a few months left. You can still get back to it and like make something, and like make the most of this year. It's not over yet. You can always do something, and I think it's important for us to always like hold ourselves accountable. I know with me, I always do it all the time, not because I'm like this super serious and disciplined and like stoic person. Like, yes, I am disciplined and all that kind of stuff, but like, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. It's more like I just can't live in peace if I'm not like holding myself accountable. I cannot really live with myself. If I say that I'm gonna do certain things, then I don't do them. You know what I mean? If I said that I'm an actor, in case you didn't know, if I said that today I'm gonna like watch these movies and like study them and like pull out some script, like print out some scripts and like try to do like more script analysis and all that kind of stuff. Like, if I don't do that, I'm gonna start to like slowly lose that trust and respect for myself. So when I said that this month I'm gonna have to watch these movies and all this stuff, this month I have to like analyze this script and do all this work, I have to do that. I have to do that. If I say this month I have to post X amount of videos, I have to do that. If I say this month I have to go on a run and like do this thing, I have to do that. I have to do that. You know what I mean? And I've been doing all of that stuff, but like, have you been doing that? No. If not, get back to it. You still have time to do that. The year is not over yet. It's not over. Again, this is not a joke. You might think it's like haha funny, yeah, it's a joke, it's not that serious, but then you keep doing that over and over again, month after month after month. You do nothing, and year after year after year you do nothing, and then you get at a certain age and look back and ask yourself like, dude, what did I even do to my life? Like, what did I even do with my life? Like, you will literally have nothing to show up for it, and that is a shame. That is embarrassing. Get it together. You don't want to be sitting with yourself, asking this question like, oh God, where did the time go? What do you mean, where did the time go? Where did the time go? You keep doing the same things over and over again. You don't hold yourself accountable. You keep doing dumb stuff, wasting time, going out with dumb people, doing dumb stuff, you're not using your time wisely, doing things that will actually enrich you, enrich your spirit, your body, your mindset, your hobbies, things that you like, your work. It could be anything, your relationships. And then months go by, years go by, and then you're like, oh God, where did the time go? Like, dude, shut up. Seriously, shut up. Stop it. You're a grown man or woman. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but like, still, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Get it together. Time doesn't come back. The moment it passes us by, it's gone. Like, it's over. This second, by the time this minute passes by, it's done. You cannot get it back. So do the best that you possibly can to like make the most of every second that you have. Stop doing dumb stuff. Stop it. It's embarrassing. It's a shame. It's weak. Again, I don't want to be like calling you out and being like this negative person, and you guys know I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. I like to be like positive and like uplift you and myself and all this kind of stuff and all this and say all these nice things, but like it gets to a point where if you like keep doing dumb stuff, then I have to like call you out on it. Like stop it. Not like seriously stop it. Stop it, because it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's not gonna get me anywhere. But like I'm not doing that. I know I'm not doing that because I always hold myself accountable and I always do things that I said that I'm gonna do. But are you doing the same? You know, if you're doing the same thing, that is great. That is beautiful. You know, I'm so proud of you. You know, keep doing that. You know, and you might be doing all these little things, these little small steps, these baby steps, and thinking that, oh God, it's not much. But I swear to God, you're gonna get ahead and like look back and be like, oh my God, those little baby steps that I kept taking actually did add up. You know, they always add up every single time, you know. But if you do nothing and you just sit there and you're like, okay, I'm gonna relax, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, I'll do it next week, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, then it turns into next year, and it's like you can't get that time back. You seriously cannot get that time back. So stop it. Get over yourself, get it together. You know, if you say you're gonna do certain things, do them. I'm not telling you to like have 20 New Year's resolutions and goals that you want to accomplish. Just take like just three goals that are like solid goals, whether that's about your health or relationships or career. Again, it could be school, it could be anything. Just take like three goals that you're like, these are non-negotiable, these I have to do them, I have to do them. Because another thing that you need to understand is that your mood is always going to change. Your mood is not going to change, it's always going to change, and you always have to like get over yourself and reach to this point where you're like, when you say you're gonna do certain things, you have to do them. It doesn't matter if you feel like it or if you don't feel like it. You have to do it. The moment you say that you're gonna do this and do that, you have to do it. I don't feel like it. I don't care. I don't care. Sometimes I don't feel like filming these videos. I'm gonna be honest. Like I love this. I love these videos and making these videos. You know, it's a hobby of mine. I love doing this. You know, but sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. Like sometimes I don't want to film the videos, but I always put it together, you know. Sometimes I do not want to watch the movies. Sometimes I don't want to, you know, do this script analysis because I'm an actor. Sometimes I don't want to learn a new technique as an actor, but again, you have to do it. If I said that I'm going to do them, if I said that I was going to do that, I have to do it even when I don't feel like doing it. You know, that's how you get ahead, you know. If you're gonna go based on how you feel, then you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna accomplish a single thing. Literally nothing. But again, I am not trying to play therapist or some kind of guru. I am not that. It's just that with you guys, you know this. I always do this to like hold myself accountable as well as you and remind you like, dude, remember the intentions that you set for this new year. Remember that your goals, get back to them, do them. If you wanted to like read more or like journal more, get back to them, please. I'm begging you, I am begging you, go back to that. If you don't take those little baby steps every single day trying to like get better or something, you're not gonna get better. You know, if you're waiting for some kind of like miracle or like big break, it's not gonna come, it's not gonna come, it's not gonna happen, you know. But if you're like doing those little things every single day, taking those like baby steps every single day towards your goal, that's when you'll be able to look back and be like, okay, the work actually adds up. It actually adds up. So throw the way you feel to the side. But I don't feel like it. I know, but sometimes I also don't feel like watching movies. Sometimes I don't feel like analyzing scripts. Sometimes I don't feel like learning a new acting technique. Sometimes I don't feel like learning about a new way to like memorize my lines. Sometimes I don't want to do that stuff, but again, if I say I'm gonna do that, I have to do it. Sometimes I don't want to film the video. Sometimes I don't want to do that, you know. Sometimes I don't want to go on a walk. Sometimes I don't want to go on a run. But if I said that I was going to do that, I have to do that. Sometimes all I want to do is just be negative, you know, and like complain and complain and complain. But if I said that my New Year's resolution was to like work on my mindset to be more optimistic and just like a more positive person, generally speaking, then I have to put that work in and that effort in to make sure that I become more positive and just have a more positive and optimistic outlook on life. You have to do those little things every single day. If you put those to the side and get to this point where you're like, okay, man, I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Then it turns into I'm going to do it next week. The next month. Stop it. Stop it. Get it together. Again, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to like preach at you, but like I'm saying this because I love you and I genuinely care about you. You know, I could just like go on and make videos and episodes about other stuff, but again, I do this because I care about you and I want to see you doing great things. You know, I'm saying this to you, but I'm also saying this to myself. But I also know that I've been doing the things that I said that I was gonna be doing and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing them. I know I'm doing them, but like, are you doing the same? And it's just like a reminder, like, dude, get it together. Get it together. The year is not over yet. September is here. Get it together. Do better. Get back to your goals. Get back to your goals. You still have a few months left to get things together. So do that. Please, I'm begging you. Do that. You know? Do that. Again, I don't know if you're like an actor like myself or a musician or an artist and you paint or it could be a writer. It could be anything. Get back to that. Get back to the thing that you said you're gonna do more of. Get back to that. You know what I mean? Get back to that. And I'm not saying this again to like come for you or like preach at you, but I'm saying this because I love you and I know you can do that. So please get back to it. Again, that's just something that I wanted to talk about and a reminder, you know, not only for you again, but also for myself. So get back to those goals and those New Year's resolutions. You still have a few months left to get it together. Again, I love you. I care about you. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You know, get it together. Get it together. If you're new, like and subscribe. Join the family if you feel like it. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Again, I love you. Sending you virtual hugs and kisses. And like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Get back to your goals right now. Bye bye. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll check on you next time. Bye.